Man, what's going on, Theodore? I'm good, brother. Sam the rapper. Yes, indeed, I am. Skipp Townsend, MT. All right. Yo, what's going on, Scrooly? All right, just coming on here Sunday. Does it mean I always skip town? Well, Skip got two P's on it. Sam the rapper. It's short for Skipper. When I was younger, I was the skipper. I had a sailor suit. I was about less than 2 years old, and I was a skipper. I appreciate it, James. Appreciate it. Hey, Compton girl. Good to see you on here. Good to know you're all right. I always want to check on you and Marlana. Y'all always got support for me. Much respect, Armand. Yes, indeed. Good to see you. I was born in the late 80s. All right. I got out of prison in the late 80s. So I've been your age before. You ain't never been mine. If I could say that. Sam the rapper. All right. Well, trying to see how many people I got in this live right now. Damn, it don't even tell me. Oh, 21 people, I guess. 1987. I was in the penitentiary in 1987. Looking for my release date. Knowing I had warrants in California and I was in Nevada. Knew I was going to have to go to California and was hoping I didn't have to do all my time out here. But 22 people on. I came on because I did a Vlad TV interview. I think he shared some of it today. People saying, oh, you do Vlad, man, you're going to blow up. Well, I don't want to blow up on Vlad. I want to blow up on my own channel. Yes, indeed. Awesome. I did that to NHB Dribs. No, you out of New York now. I was remember the other day. Yeah. 38 years ago. Legendary, living legend. I don't know if I'm a living legend. I don't know. I'm going to stick with it, though. Thank you for that, Sam. I think I've been around some legends. I've been around people who are legends. Jim Brown, the football player. James Ingram, the singer, songwriter. Harry Belafonte is no bigger legend to me than him. Darren Bo Taylor. A lot of people don't know him, but he organized. He was like the egg in the cake on the west side of LA. If y'all don't know how to make a cake, you can put as much cinnamon and sugar and all you want in there. But if you don't have no egg in the cake, y'all tell me what it's going to do. You are legendary? All right, I hope so. I hope I am legendary. But I don't know. Oh, y'all know what tomorrow is, though. That's where the legend is. Tomorrow is the 100th birthday of El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, born Malcolm Little. Tomorrow's his birthday. So 100 years. He was cut down too early, but I'm sure he wouldn't have lived to be 100. Probably lived to be 80 something or 90 something if he wasn't cut down in February '65. But yeah, May 19 is his birthday. May 19, 1925, he was born. So, all right, but I was just saying, I got on here. I want to give my time, my attention to people who follow me, because I know people who follow Vlad. Those people don't know me. They're going to see me for the first time. So I just want to come on here and, just chop it up with people who watch my podcast. I don't even have a podcast no more. I just go on live, and every now and again I'll film something and post it or whatever. But just want to give a shout out to Malcolm X, Brother Malcolm, born 100 years ago. Yes, indeed. Did I enjoy the Vlad interview? You know what? I did. I went on with an attitude. When I went on Vlad, I had an attitude because I figured he was going to say, who did you shoot, who shot you, who shot back. I thought it was some more, get people to stuff about uh, talk about negative stuff that end up in RICO acts, and dudes smoking weed, bringing pistols and shit, and I ain't that type of person. So I'm sitting there, and I told him, I said, man, I watched your interview with Mac 10. I don't know if y'all ever seen that interview with Mac 10, but he would ask Mac 10 a question, and Mac would say, open to answering questions, like said, tell me what you heard. You know what I mean? And giving it back to him. So that's how I went in there with that mindset. Alva, Martine, Nicole. How do I join Second Call? If you are in the LA area, anywhere in Southern California, I could tell you that we have meetings every Wednesday night. Every Wednesday, there's a meeting at 7625 South Central Avenue. That is in the city of LA. It's at 76 and Central. We're there every Wednesday. You can get all your information, or you can go onto the website. The website is www.secondcall.org. We have Thursday classes too, but because you're a young lady, I wouldn't send you there. It's a bunch of dudes who've been in prison, got out of prison. I can't really see a picture good, but Alva, if you cute, they're going to say something. Matter of fact, if you're ugly, Alva, they're going to say something. They'll be like, hey, sweetheart, hey, baby, all that. So go to the one on Wednesday nights, 7, 6, and Central. But yeah, be a part of it. We can get you all the information you need. If you're not in LA, you're in Georgia, we in LaGrange, soon to be in Columbus. But I would say go on the website, secondcall.org. How you feel about Hacienda the Village letting 34-year-old join the set? I didn't know that. I ain't got nothing against the Hacienda Village, but I got something against a 34-year-old who want to be a part of that at this age. You could be a positive role model, and you choose to represent the negativity. You could be the smartest person in the Hacienda Village, as opposed to being a brand new torpedo at 34. You're gonna get sent somewhere to do something to somebody. So I don't like stuff like that. But I can't tell the Haciendas not to accept people, because I wouldn't accept them at 21, 22. You accept them at 13, 14 because they've been living there for so long. Now, Munchie B, your guy now, what were your thoughts on him when he was banging? I remember showing up to our game in Washington. All right, Deuce 9. So Munchie B was a thorn in my side. Back in the days when I was creating peace agreements, before he, was shot, I never talked to him. I would just always know that if I'm putting something together, he's going to be the one to mess it up. So people were saying, call his daddy, call his daddy. But then when he got shot, I had the homeboy, Big Trim, brought him to me when I was in Compton. And, I was trying to make something happen. He's tripping now again, though, him and I don't know who the dude is from Denver Lane, but, they have history, man. The families in Denver Lane got history, and I'd hate to see that go backwards. But Trim brought him to me when I was messing around with the homie Denver Bam. Bam is a Denver to remember. Me and him was trying to squash the nonsense, and that's how I met him. But I really met him after he was blind. So yeah, that's my guy. Got a lot of love and major respect for Munchie. On the song he did when he took Nipsey's beat, and he was doing the song on the dudes from the '60s, and he said, "The big homie told me not to do this." That was me. I said, "Man, leave that. Don't." But I mean, everybody from the '60s started calling me saying, "Hey, Skip, he ain't wrong. Everything he said in the song was true." So I was like, "Damn, how y'all feel?" And they said, "Man, we little mixed emotions, man. He ain't dissed the '60s. He dissed them certain peoples." So, but after that, kind of strained the relationship with me and Lil AD, because I had just, brought him to Lil AD, and we were still working on peace. But Munchie a good dude, man. He growing out of most of the stuff that he used to do. I'm glad he on the podcast. I want y'all to subscribe to Rich at Heart, man. Follow him when he's on Street TV. Give him the love and shit. Just comment. Trust me, this dude I can't tell you how. I don't know how, but he be reading the comments. So send him some positive comments and he'll find it. Said my homie posted himself at a dinner with you today on Instagram. I don't know who your homie is. Who's your homie? Uh, Second call got the mobile command post. Yes, we do. I don't know if y'all seen that. We don't call it the mobile command post. We call it the mobile response unit. So when somebody's killed, or even if they shot, we want to go out in the community and provide a safe, warm place or a safe, cool place if it's hot. Want to provide some chicken wings, some pizza, some water, cold water. Got a couple toys in there. If you got kids, I'll get the kids to plan or do something so that so that they're not being bothered. And sometimes when people loved ones are still laying on the ground, the detectives want to have you wait 3-4 hours for they come tell you something. Well, we got the mobile response unit to help people, feel better. I mean, we can't really help you feel better, but at least be what's the word? Comfortable. Be comfortable as you wait for the bad news or, go through the emotions of the loved one being hurt, harmed, injured. You feel Vlad is positive for the people, our people. You know what? I was feeling like he wasn't, Theodore. That's why I came in with that attitude. But once I got to talking to him and I saw that he wasn't on the bullshit, maybe he's changing. Somebody told me that he had disrespected Minister Louis Farrakhan and that Cam had went hard in on him. And, me and Cam is cool. I ain't talked to Cam in about 4-5 years, but me and Cam always been cool. Whenever I call Cam, he come through. And then I got major love and respect for the Minister Louis Farrakhan. So because of that, I feel a certain kind of way now. I probably would have brought up a question or two to him, but I can only go by my experience, and my experience wasn't bad. What's the Vlad interview? My homie posted a picture, dinner with you on Instagram with the Vlad interview. We didn't have dinner, so I wonder who that was. What's up, Skipp? Real one from the Lions. What's up, Big Mike? Skipp, how you feel about the dad in Ohio avenging his son's death? Man, I wish we didn't have to do that, but what happens is, those are emotions, man. And the thing is that I was told a long time ago, would I die for my kids? And the response I had was yes. And Muslim imam on the yard at the time told me, that don't make no sense because these are the same people that need you to live. So avenging his son's death is going to get him sometime taken away from his family. And I know every time I'm in jail or prison or whatever, people that I love would die, cancer, whatever, old age. So I would hate for him to have to go through that. But I do understand the emotion attached to it. So I'm not condemning him, saying nothing bad about him. I just want other people to think about it. If something happened to your son, your daughter, your mama, whoever, retaliation and revenge ain't going to bring them back. But what it's going to do is separate you from the rest of the people who love you. Do you consider yourself as an OG blood or big homie? Nah, man, I'm the UN, man. I'm LA's version of the United Nations, man. I'm blood, Crip, Pyru, Hoover, whatever you want to call it, man. I'm with all of them, man, because I want to bring our people together. So I do believe that as far as the Bloods, yeah, I think I'm a OG, but it's not because I want nobody to fight the Crips or the essays or something like that. I feel like I'm an OG Blood because when the homies is arguing and fussing and fighting, I want to get in the middle and say, man, shut the fuck up and sit down. You know what I mean? Without getting hit in the back of the head. But no, I'm from wherever you from. Oh yeah, baby braids. They'll be okay. They'll blow over. Yeah, deuce nine. Is Get Down still around? Which Get Down? Because I just seen Get Down from NHP last weekend. Get Down from 20s. I haven't seen him in a minute. Yes, sir. That's the big homie band from the hood trying to squash the beat. Yep. If you remember having dinner with a New York homie, then you were saying, damn, what New York homie was I having dinner with? That's the closest thing I could think of to call it. Oh, okay. Great interview on Vlad. Appreciate it. Oh, Xavier. Yeah, that was me, Xavier, and Jan Brewer from Inglewood Family. Yeah, we was in the 20s. We was on Vermont at the Mexican restaurant. I remember that. Always want to come to St. Gall meeting just to see history in the making. I used to live in LA, down in San Diego now. Much love for San Diego too. Yep, I was all to Inglewood Village. Yep. Yeah, we've had this conversation long many times. Yep, I was in various cripplers, but that's the one I felt comfortable in. So I was in growing up in the A-Trade neighborhood, and there was this thing about them 69th Street boys, and I didn't like it. And I always had issues in the 60s. When I go to the Inglewood Village, I was treated like family. What's up, Thomas? Eye for an eye. I understand that, but how many other people lose behind the eye for an eye? So if you do something to my son, and I got too many kids, grandkids, and great grandkids, what I got to do is I got to stop my kids and my grandkids from retaliating so that they don't lose their life, so they don't get dead or put in jail. So I got work to do. So I can't do the eye for an eye. Because one of my sons get killed, I got other sons. And I want to make sure they ain't dead or doing life in prison. So I gotta be the voice of reason. Yes indeed. Bonnie on the Watts. Oh yes indeed. Compton girl. Yeah, it was a big thing a couple of years ago on the internet. Cam made a diss towards Culture Vulture. Okay. Yeah. I gotta tap in with Cam. I ain't talked to him in a minute. And Cam is accessible, man. A real humble, cool dude. He never was Hollywood type. So Tyrone hasn't been driving since 2018. Mm, can't think of who Tyrone is right now. Right now, the Damus need to stop the bloodshed and what's going on today and shut it down. Hey, what's really crazy is that there's a meeting today. One of the big homies told me that him and another big homie, dudes that I still got to look up to, say they sitting down with a couple of dudes that fucked up the beach 2 weeks ago. Or was it a week ago? Nah, damn, that was just last week. Yeah, so there's dudes making amends and making dudes stop tripping. So I'm glad they included me in it, but they got it. How did I connect with Vlad? Vlad reached out to me. And that's what I said to Vlad too. Like, what put me on your radar, man? And he said that somebody was sending him information on me. And he started doing his research or whatever. And he was like, all right, bring him on. So I don't know who it was, but somebody worked with Vlad. Told him you should have Skipp Townsend on. OG is older generation, veteran. OG is old guy, man, out of gas. Skip was goody. What's up, Mike Santana? Yeah, get out from 20s. I ain't seen him in a minute, but I was just with get down from NHP. Matt Ronald doing okay. He is okay. He's on parole. He's at home. He got a job. Yeah, he's doing great. Matt Ronald don't just get one job. He get. I want to tell y'all the one job he got, but shit, I'd be lying because he probably got 3 or 4. Um, oh, okay. He posted a pic today. Yeah, that picture was from before COVID. The picture that we took at the restaurant, that was, I don't know what that was, 2019 or somewhere around there. You see me at the gas station the other day? Okay, gas station. All right. Nice, good. Son, y'all from Barbados. Oh, yeah. What's up, Matthew? Barbados. Yes, different time zone. It's an hour past East Coast time, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's about 11 in Barbados, I think. Are they dealing with the pots? Hell yeah. The little dude that I used to play with all the time when we was little was Renard. Not was it Renard? Yeah, Renard. No, Renard. Renard was the bully. What's the youngest brother's name? He's about 2 years younger than me. Um, so Renard is the one who's like a year older than me. Raymond is the OG. Um, but damn, I can't think of his name. But he was telling me, he said, "Man, don't be using my brother's name. Don't be saying that because they fly up under the radar, But shit, they daddy's still alive, man, and that's a wonderful thing. But he was the real G over there, the daddy. But everybody know Raymond. Renard, I got to think of, one of them had a bad eye, and he was the problem. I'd steal bikes and shit and put my bike together, and then he would come around and steal my bike when I went in the house. Peace to the guys, Crip Monster, Cody, H.R. Gangster. Yes, indeed. True, but they bragging about it in zones. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's always horrible. Always horrible. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Michael, tell everybody hit the like button. Yeah, that was last week. Vlad fed, but he didn't fed me. He wasn't asking me questions like I've seen him ask other people. You know what I mean? So yeah, going on Vlad, I say, motherfucker, gotta be conscious. I was. I went on there like shit, waiting on him to ask me some stupid shit, and he just didn't do it. He didn't ask me no stupid shit. Y'all go check out the Vlad video. Tell me what y'all think. Came out maybe earlier today. CJ, my Peru did an interview with Reggie Rice saying his mom was shot at 80 years old. Yeah, I heard. Psych from Swan also says his mom died from being shot. No disrespect. Yeah, but now I don't know the situation with CJ's mom. She might have just been outside, but the dudes came through shooting at the Swans and shot Psych's mom, man. And he got shot that day too. And the crazy thing is, he did not retaliate. And he asked everybody. So Psych is my guy, man. Shout out to Hakeem. That's my guy. I talked to him yesterday. But yeah, his mom got shot and killed. He lost his eye. But I think that's that's the most horrible thing ever, man. And I'm glad CJ's mom is still alive though. Met you at a press conference for my niece who was murdered. You came by at my husband's car wash yesterday. Oh, so yeah. Okay. So yeah, you local. I know where I was at. I got that burger. I didn't even know who owned the car wash. There was an old man that used to own that car wash. And when everybody else was washing cars for $15, he was charging like 22, 23. But the only difference was he only had 4 or 5 cars to wash where everybody had a line. So I used to go there and just kick back. But I haven't been since 2000 started. But okay, that's your husband. Yeah. So make your way over to on Wednesdays. Make your way over to second call 7625 South Central Avenue. But yeah, I met your husband. I was like, man, I'm like 10 years older than him, but just based on where he's from, and I ain't gonna put it out there because you didn't put it out there. Based on where he's from, I'm like, man, I should know him. But yeah, he's a cool dude. I met him. I think that was Friday. I think it was Friday. New generations want to stop doing all that stupid stuff. Yes, indeed. Is Al B certified from 20s? Back in 87, 88, Al B was from 20s. There is no Al B anymore. Al B went to Santa Monica College, got himself a grant to go to USC. He is now a professor. He is now a business owner. So he don't like saying he's from 20s. I understand. I get it. He's doing a lot of things and don't want that he don't want that tie to his name, you know. Did Alex grow up with y'all? Yes, he did. I can tell y'all, he did grow up with us. I met him on my homeboy Rocky porch. So if y'all don't know nothing about the 20s, ask who is Rocky? Who is Rocky? Who is Trey K? Um, so I got out of jail January 88. It was probably a month or two afterwards. I was seeing Al B all up and down the Broadway in the 60s, everything. And then I finally met him one day. Yeah, exactly. So Rennis is the one who used to steal my bikes, man. I mean, I stole the parts off of him anyway. But Renard was the one I played with. So me and Renard was real cool, maybe for about 2 years. Me, him, and Fat Pat off of 65th Place. Me, him, Fat Pat, Milton Johnson on 66. Wayne and Jimmy Hughes, I would kick it with Wayne. Jimmy was a year older. Um, but yeah, so Renard was my guy. Do I know Bosco 100? Yes, indeed. I know Bosco 100. It's my guy. He's a comedian, really. He's really a comedian. When you're gonna share the photo of you and Lamar from 20s. Me and Lamar. I can't think who Lamar is. I don't know who that is. Much love and respect for what you're doing. God bless be upon you, brother. I appreciate that, Jeffrey. If Vlad asked you about second call to work. Yes, he did. He asked me about second call to work for the streets piece. So that's why I say he did a real good interview. You know, it's like when that portion comes, so he gonna split them up, and they asked me that at the end. So I think that's probably where, people are saying, man, once you go on Vlad, you're gonna blow up like like pow, So I don't know, maybe that's where it'll happen at when people understand. Okay, I appreciate that. And HB Drills, he got fired. Damn, that's crazy. I Skipp saw it. He did very well answering his questions. Right. Thank you, Focus. I ain't want to get caught up. I'll come to your office. Yep, I just gave the address too. I got an office on South Central, 7625 South Central Avenue. We there at 4 o'clock, man. If you show up at 401, 402, and that back gate is locked, just got to wait till it opens. That's it. That's all. Used to get your car washed on Florence near Western. I don't know if that's at Hobart, where D-Town from Broadway got shot and the little youngster got killed, or if you're talking about down the street, probably closer to, what is that? What would that street be? It's right before Dinker. I can't think right now, but that's where a lot of people used to get shot too. That's where J-Dub got killed, and so did they call him Scary Gary. What's his name? Daft. Daft got killed there. So yeah, I avoided the car washes on Florence. Yes, indeed. Psych from Swans. That's how I met Doc Throne, through Psych from Swans. All right, Alpha. You say you'll see me there. I might not be there though, but still go. I'll see if I can make it. RP to the homie Jerry, AK Satan from 20s. Jerry. I can't think of that Jerry, because the Jerry I know is a Crazy Boy. We got a homeboy named Crazy Boy. His name is Jerry. I don't know if I know Satan. I gotta think of who it is. My homies be looking at this, so they'll call me. My homeboy Head probably call me later on the night and say, man, Satan. It was whoop-de-whooping, that type of shit. So I'll figure it out. And I ain't trying to mock his voice, so don't think I'm clowning on me. Shout out to Gangster Ed from South Park. That's what. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Gangster Ed, a soldier, and Duck. Yes, indeed. I called Duck my great-grandfather. Pretty cool. His finger's fucked up, though. If you go meet Duck, man, just shake his hand. Don't look at him. Look him in the eyes. Don't look at the hand. Is a towing game dangerous? It was dangerous. They was fighting and shooting. Non-affiliates in the tow truck was shooting and all that. So when I came in, and most of them was Crips, it was dangerous then. I opened the doors for a lot of people, like Big Bimby, rest in peace, Heavy D from Inglewood. But shit, he was a gangster on his own. E-Bone and them from Inglewood family started towing, but they was already solid dudes before they started towing. But yeah. No, you don't need a Class B to drive the tow truck. Tow truck is just Class C. Gangs dying out due to gentrification. Yeah, I would say so. I would say people used to hang out 100 deep all the time. We hanging out 100 deep everywhere. No matter what neighborhood you went to, there was a block where you couldn't go down that street. Like how they had Palmwood in Training Day. It was like that. By the time you get to the cul-de-sac right there, it was a problem. In the Fruit Towns, they had a cul-de-sac too. It's gonna be a problem. Damn near every neighborhood, there's streets where it's gonna be a problem. But that don't happen no more. It don't happen like that. So I used to produce music. Do you still have any music from back then? Yep, I got music. I did some songs with Trey D, Squeak Rule, Show Chop, but I had a whole album on this girl named April, the one who was in Slipping with the Bloods. So I still got them. I did a song with Cocaine and Corrupt. Yep. I did songs with Joe Moses. Before he was Joe Moses, I'm sure he don't want me to put him out, but yeah. So I did a lot of producing. I was with Curtis Blow a lot. I was getting a lot of my my snares, and my bass line from Hutch, Cole 187 from Bud of Law. He helped me with that, but Curtis Blow taught me how to. Curtis Blow taught me how to produce. But I was fucking with Hutch when he was on tour. That's when he had the. I don't know if y'all remember the Indonesia song and 100 Spokes. So he was still on tour doing shit. So I could never have him sit down with me like that. He was always on the go. Yeah, peace, peace. Did you ever meet Goldie, Missy Little Brother? They stayed in the jungles, the Newports on Stevely. Goldie. Damn, I can't think of who that is. I can't think of it right now. Nah, not a Goldie. VIP. I mean, what happened to the photo of you and Lowdown from 20s? No, I ain't never took a photo with Lowdown. Um, I have a photo that Big B. So if y'all don't know who Big B is the one who brought YG and Mustard, Ty Dolla Sign. Um, he took my rapper. Joe Moses is my rapper. I don't see if he tell the truth, but he started bringing them together, and they created that clique that was unstoppable. But he had called me one day and said he was in Hollywood, and he ran into the dude. He knew him from 29th Street. So I was like, oh, I never seen or heard from. I didn't know him. So he sent me the picture of him and Lowdown. Is it money and towing today? Yes, but I wouldn't do the towing I used to do. I would do the auto transport. So you think like this, man. I used to go to I would go to Detroit for like $5,000 and get it. And it would cost me like almost 2,000 to do it. So I'm doing transport, but I'm also getting to clear the air. I'm getting to be in the truck and get my mind right. And I was doing it back when CDs, we had the 12 disc changer. So I had already listened to my CDs over and over again. So I turned the radio off and just be at peace with myself. But if you're in the city responding to calls and all that, it's a lot of work. It's dirty work, and it's money. I used to make about $3,000 a week towing it. I'm talking about I stopped in 2005, the beginning of 2006. So if I was making 3,000 a week, and that 20 years ago, it's a possibility you can make 6,000, 7,000 a week now. I'm sure. Do you fuck with Mexicans? Man, all the time, man. Matter of fact, my boy Chinaman from Inglewood just came home, man. We about to put this shit together, man. We gonna stop all this bullshit. I fuck with my boy Blackie from Temple Street. I fuck with my boy Dopey from 18th Street. I'm fucking with my boy Tank from F13 Florencia. Him, Joe. Fuck with all the F13s though. Um, are there any songs with Rat? Nah, me and Rat used to chop it up, but we never got in the studio together. You say, are they racist? I would say for the ones that I work with, they can't be racist because they're connected to people who, how can I put it? Um, they they politic with each other, if I could say like that. So I deal with the political people who, I don't know how to put it, but no, they can't be racist. I mean, they do they follow instructions? If they like if we in a module together or something or in a dorm, and somebody tell them, hey, set it off, let us go, they gonna go. They don't give a fuck who's their friend or whatever. But I wouldn't say that's racist because now that we ain't in a module, now that we ain't in a dorm, can we sit down and eat? The answer is yes. Can I call on the phone and answer? The answer is yes. So I don't think they're racist, but I do know that there are a lot who are. But for those who are, they not in a position of politics. Are there any songs with Rat? Do you know Hito? I don't know who Hito is. Can you please shout me out? Chefs. Trying to grow my own YouTube channel. Well, do this, Chef. Type it in the bottom. Type it in this chat right here. And shit, you shout it out. When I read it, shit, it shout it out. Hutch still out of Pomona. What people don't know about Hutch and cocaine is that they come from the West Adams, Arlington Heights area before their grandmama wanted a better life for them and moved them out to Pomona. But yes, they from Pomona. That's where, I mean, you know, that's where they moved to. Vlad knows that we're on him and his BS, so I'm sure he turns lightly with the question now. Yes, indeed, he did too. He wasn't nothing out of line, wasn't nothing out the ordinary. Playboys from the East Side was hella cool when I used to be around South Park. Yeah, Playboy still around there. Could always fall back onto him. Oh yeah, definitely. I was thinking that probably about 5-6 years ago. I was like, man, I need to get back in the truck just to get my mind right. And I really should have, even though I would have missed out on a lot of things that I've done. But if I would have did that, I probably wouldn't have had a heart attack because I would have, you know, it's stressful being in LA. It's stressful working with people every day, and then I turn my back and they fight each other, and then I talk to them, and then they shooting at each other. You know what I mean? And then I hear something on the news, somebody got killed, you know, and then I go to the candlelight vigil or something. I meet the mama, and it's like now I got a new friend who I never wanted, you know, and now I gotta answer their calls or I gotta cater to them. I mean, I ain't mad at that. That's what I do, but I don't want to meet you like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I know, you know, when I look at the mama, I think about, damn, I know how many kids they had killed, how many, you know, that type of thing. So it's yeah. So driving a tow truck ain't none of that. But driving a tow truck in the city, every corner I go to, I could tell you a bad accident that was there. A car that was pow flipped over and gravitated to the pole, and the dudes were still in there dead. You know, others that, man, it's just so much. So that's why I keep talking. If y'all ever hear me talking about the woods of Georgia, that's because I need to get myself together. I just don't have to get in the tow truck. What made me get out the tow game was the fact that I felt like, I'm gonna tell y'all the story, and I ain't never said this online, but what's his name? Chris, not Chris Mills, Chris Webber. He had a convertible Bentley, and Juvenile had in this video. There was a lot of people had in their videos, and he seen it and he got mad and he told the owner of 310 come get it on a Sunday. So I was supposed to be teaching my daughter how to ride a bike, and he was like, Skip, man, I'll give you a couple extra $100. Please go get the car. So I put the bike in the back of my truck, got my daughter go with me. We go to get this car from Chris Webber, and he gets to saying, he looking at my truck like, man, I don't want man, I got a bright red tow truck, gang bang red, chrome everything, but it wasn't enclosed. It was going to be out. The car was going to be on my bed, right? He got to disrespecting my tow truck. He said, I ain't stupid. Y'all use this in the music video. Look at the stitches coming apart. I'm like, man, it's handcrafted. You know, they not like manufactured like a Chevy or a Ford. You know, it's handcrafted. So shit's liable to happen. We can fix it. But he just got so disrespectful. And I'm looking him up and down. And I know he looked big to y'all, but I was getting hotter and hotter, madder and madder. And I was like, man, you know, you being real disrespectful now. My daughter's in the car looking. I mean, in the tow truck looking. And I said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get off your property, bro. And I felt like I was a hoe. Like, not like I backed down from him, but I felt like I only did it for the money. So I don't want to do shit for money. I don't want to be a tow truck driver because I would charge $800 for that tow to go to Sacramento from LA. And they said, Skip, we're going to give you 2 more hundred or something. Just charge us. So I felt like a prostitute. Like, I'm just working for the truck. I'm working for the money. I really want to be doing something worthwhile. So when I went to jail and did a violation, and I'm in LA County Jail, and these youngsters is moving the bunks and getting down, I'm like, man, stop, man. What the fuck is y'all doing? Hell no, we about to get rushed. You know, we in a, what was the dorms? Probably like about 60-something people in the dorms at Medium North. And so I'm telling you, we were about 15, 20 deep. The rest of them was against us. So I'm telling the youngsters, man, y'all tripping. So I knew there was something more. So that's what got me out the towing. And then a guy named Looney, Ronnie Barron from Mansfield, he made so much sense when he said the development of desire for success will determine the success achieved. So he was saying, if I never developed a desire to be successful, then I can't be successful. So I watched little Ronnie grow up, and I'm like, man, where you getting this shit from? And he told me stop running from Bo Taylor. They connected with Jim Brown, the American program. So he said, man, get with us. And I did. I grew up on 3rd Ave in Slauson. All right. So maybe you went to Van Ness Park, or maybe you across the street and go over there to the hamburger stand next to Big Mama's chicken sausage. I used to go to Nipsey shop on 4th Ave. That chicken place across the street was lit. Yes, indeed. I just said it before I even read that. Focus say he lit on 3rd Ave. And let me tell y'all, man, I'm going to give a shout out to Mama's Chicken, man. She got the ground chicken sausage. Get it ground. That shit is fire, 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 fire. However, don't get the wrapped because they wrap it with pork. So don't get the chicken links. Get the ground chicken. It's all chicken. Three more is legendary. I went to Fairfax with Chris Mills. That's my guy, Chris. Somebody was telling me, one of the basketball players, Tony out of Chicago, was telling me. He was telling me, man, I'm gonna tell you a crazy story about Chris Mills, and he was telling me a story about Chris Mills being in Portland or wherever, and something happened, and Chris shot the bus down, and I said, man, don't ever tell that story again, because I was right there. It wasn't in Portland, it was in Oakland, and I'm the one who brought Chris Range Rover so I could get in the Phantom and go, because Chris is really from Pico. They walk 2x2 down Pico, and man, Chris. Bonzi Wells. Where's Bonzi Wells playing? Wherever it was, Chris was coming to get Bonzi Wells. So yeah, I was there. I was at the game, and I was just at the game, being at the game because I was towing his cars, and I stayed the night. But yeah, he got into a Bonzi Wells, and me and not his brother, but Tony. I forgot Tony's last name. Me and Tony was there, and we started maneuvering stuff to keep Chris out of jail. So the one thing I had to do was I had to drive the Phantom back to his house so that dudes was telling. And as they should, man, these are $1 million players. Chris, Chris shouldn't have been a Crip when he was getting $34 million, but he was. But anyway, Mama's Chicken. Yes, indeed. Real stuff, real respect. Appreciate you. Even far as I'm in Barbados, I appreciate the great work you're doing. Skip, much love and respect. Appreciate that. Ronnie is my play cousin. Our family's connected. All right, Asiatic Supreme. Well, then, when I met Ronnie, I met him through Jovan Bonarise, Earl, what they call Earl. Earl was from Mansfield. D-Mac from Mansfield, and they introduced me to Lil Ronnie. And they would walk down Washington, and the Avenue 20s would sweat them. So I said, oh, I could stop that. And I called around the corner and said, man, hey, do y'all know these little kids and y'all be sweating them? And dude said, yeah, that's me, Skip. And I'm like, man, can you stop? And he said, well, they got on the blue belt and it's sideways, and they wear the shoes with the blue strings. So I was getting at him saying, well, man, I said, y'all can't do that. And Ronnie was like, don't call for me. I'm going to take my fades. I was like, man, that was all little. So I was like, man. But then when I seen him again, and he's part of American, he was much bigger. He had already been to the pen and all that. But yeah, so you might know Earl and D-Mac, Darius, and Earl Bonarise. I got kids by Earl Bonarise's sister. I was really thinking about that place the other day. Yeah. Am I cut? Nah. Shit, no. I ain't cut. I don't know. Well, I ain't cut. Yeah, Tony Allen. That's who I was thinking of. Me and Tony Allen trying to tell me a story about Chris Mills. I was like, man, that's crazy. You can't tell that story. And don't tell it again. But it's something he heard. And it's truth to the story, but except we was in Oakland at the time, Golden State. Wait, hold on, focus. A female that went to St. Mary's class of 80, you're a year older than me. My cousin Natalie Fears went there. I was in love with Karen Foster. She liked me when we went to St. Anselm's, but that was it. She started getting boyfriends with cars and didn't want to be with me. I can understand. But yeah, I went to Sarah. I should be class of 81, but I got kicked out and went to Audubon, finished up my ninth grade, and then went to Dorsey. But Focus, I probably know you. Do you know Steve Townsend? If you do, he was the football player at Sarah and track star and all that. Then he got this. He started swimming. He started getting wet. If y'all know what I'm talking about. And he ain't been the same since. City had Giants around me on a spot like that. Cities had Giants around me. We have a spot like that. That was our spot. So the city and the 20s is one and the same. I come out the avenues. So I lived across the street. Across the street from Giants Pastrami, there was a car wash. Man, behind the car wash was an apartment building. I lived there. Gigolo lived there. Baby Bullock lived there. In the car wash, you'd see Yellowstone every day. Uh, Half Dead every day. Big Bullock, KB. That was the spot, man. Xavier and them would be there. So yeah, man, that's yeah. So really, back in the days, ain't no difference between the biddy and the 20s. Peace to the chat, big bro Skip. All right, what's up, Boss Claus? Yes, indeed. You missed my Chris Mills and Tony Allen stories, man. Yeah. Chat is so respectful, and I really appreciate. I appreciate you, Focus, and I'm glad to know you're a female because it say Focus. I was thinking you might have been one of the homies. Oh, okay. I don't. You know what? I really didn't know Ronnie's mom. I know Michelle Bonarise knew them, but I didn't. Oh, from Richmond. So here's my Oakland story. It was shit. I just got out of jail, 2005. So it was the New Year's Eve party, 2005, 2006. I'm in East Oakland, somewhere off of International. I know that because they had little prostitutes out there, 14th Street, whatever it was. And I'm at a party for New Year's Eve, and everybody going hyphy, and they shaking their head, and all the different shit going on, and E40 and Keep the Sneak and all that. And all of a sudden, everybody got kind of sober like. And I was like, man, what the fuck going on? And they said, yeah, them Richmond niggas here. And I was like, damn. I could feel the hair on the back of my neck. And yeah, I was like, damn, that's a lot of respect for Richmond. And it wasn't until later when I met my guy Julius, um, Julius, Julius Hassan, I think his name. He was a CIN. He had the rap out. He had that one album. So I was listening to the album back then, but I met him probably about 4 years ago, 3, 4 years ago, doing this type of work. So yeah, shout out to Richmond. Shout out to St. Mary's. Yeah, of course. Karen Foster. Y'all go in that St. Mary's yearbook of 1980 and see that beautiful. Matter of fact, I talked to her about 3, 4 years ago. Oh, you know Natalie? Yes, of course. Everybody knew Natalie. Natalie Fears. Yeah, 1723 West 24th Street. Yes, indeed. I can tell you exactly where that is. That's between Congress and LaSalle on 24th. Yeah, Karen Foster was in your class. Well, shit, Focus, I want to see a picture of you. Who is you? I might have had a crush on you. Oh, let me tell you who else was in your class. Dino's sister. What was her name? It started with a D. They had the long hair, and Dino went to Sarah. They had the long hair. They were like an Indian. Before there was Nipsey and all them, they looked like them. She was real skinny though. Like Delia, something with a DLIA. And damn. Yep, she was in your class too. Um, I can't even think of their last name. Dino was my age. His sister was a year older. I'm paying attention, Focus. I'm waiting on you to tell me that girl name. She was real skinny. She had a car. She would drive to school. Um, yep. Uh, Inglewood tapping in. Yes, indeed. Yeah, you see that, Boss Claus? Compton girl giving you a salute. Man, where you at, Boss Claus? You in one of them other countries somewhere, or you back home out here? Say Johnny has some good burgers. Yeah, I used to get the turkey burger. My homeboy Jimbo's sister used to work up there. Your cousin went to Sarah, class of 79. My brother Steve was class of 79. What was your cousin's name? I'm sure. I was there when he was there. Popcorn. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Richmond was pushing the line like that. It changed the whole party. 9-4 Mobsters. Yep. That was his song. 9-4 Mobsters. That's my boy Julius. Julius Hassan. 21 Love Salute. We went to University of Chicago together last year. But I knew him from about 3-4 years ago. No Big Hurt from SAC. I don't think so. Oh, yeah. He was born in 94. Shit, you didn't get a free TV or nothing in 92. You wasn't even here. You didn't get no tires, a battery, or nothing. You missed out on 92. Going from project to project. Man, I'm telling you, man, the girls, I'm going to tell you what was going on that you missed, Giovanni. In 1992, the song that would get everybody going was face down, ass up. That's the way they like to. Hey, Doodle Brown. Doodle Brown. And man, girls from every project would put their face down, their ass up, and it was on and popping, man. So it was a lot of sexual relations going on. And yeah, I don't know. I don't do that no more, but you know, I do have down south roots, Georgia, Louisiana. My family's from Lucky, Louisiana, the Tobins. Lucky, Louisiana, Arcadia, Bentonville, Jonesboro. What's that? Right outside of Grambling. Forgot the name of that city. Right outside of Grambling. But and my mother's family come from Texas. My father's family originated in Georgia, and then a lot of them moved to Louisiana. But then my stepfather, he's a Townsend, and his family's Mississippi. We related to the famous um, what is her name? Fannie Lou Hamer. She was actually born in Townsend. So it's a lot of Townsends down there. I got to get down there and meet them. Salute from Taiwan. Yeah, 79 Hillside. All right. Salute. Yep. Nat Lee, Red Tie. Is that furniture store still on Washington and Gramercy? No. It's an apartment building there now. So little brother, keep doing good work. I have to look at my yearbook. Yeah, damn. It start with a D-A-L-I something. Deladia or Delaya, something like that. She was real pretty, but she was just straight up and down. But she was real cool with me. Real cool. One thing for sure, 2030 BPS had all the Indian exotic women. They be looking good. All right. I don't know. That's how you feel. I don't know. In the 20s, I can't talk bad about my sisters, but a couple of them. Yeah, Eric, come on, man. I used to be at his house on 4th Ave. He had the music set up in the back. We formed a singing group. He had a fine sister too. Eric stayed on 4th Ave. Was it 4th Ave or 5th Ave? I can't remember. But yeah, we used to be at his house in the garage. He played the instruments, and we was gonna have us a group. The shit lasted about a month and a half. Yeah, I remember Eric. Is Eric still alive? Yeah. 2 Live Crew. Yeah. Mike spreading lies on Money Mike Death, saying Big U did it. And that's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy right there. Soon as it happened, I didn't even know that was Money Mike, or I call him Mickey, but I didn't know that was him. I just pulled. I'm going down Normandy and I see all the fire trucks racing, so I pulled over and I started filming it. And I'm like, I'm asking people what happened, and then I see them working on his body, and his stomach was kind of expanded. I said, well, that ain't good. That means his blood ain't circulating. And so I put it out there. Let's pray for him, man. Let's pray for him. Then I seen the kid come out. I've never met his son before, so I didn't know that was his son. So I said, you know what? I ain't gonna film the son because that's disrespectful. But I didn't know it was his son. I said, I ain't gonna film this dude. He's alive and well. And then Linda. Linda is Money Mike's sister. She called first, and then Big U called, asking me what happened. Was I so? If everybody saw the tapes, because they had video footage from Dale's stereo shop, video footage from outside. If y'all see the tapes, y'all see who was there. Y'all see what was happening, and the dudes who was in there, man, both of them cool with me. But I sure hope they didn't do that. I hope they ain't had nothing to do with it. But that ain't on Big U, not at all. I hope it ain't to do. Yeah, Ruston. That's where my family's from. Ruston. Yep, right outside Grambling. Ruston, Jonesboro, Arcadia, Denville Parish, Lucky, and a lot of them moved to Shreveport. No, so my last name is Townsend, not Townsman. Townsend, like a town, and then send a letter. But they come from Mississippi, and then they went to St. Louis, and some of them went to Chicago. That's how you get Robert Townsend. So my grandfather's name is Robert Townsend, but a lot of Townsends went out there. Yeah, yeah, she was a soldier. Who you know from the 916. Shit, I got a cousin out there. Uh, yeah, I got a cousin out there. That's fine. I don't know his last name. His mama was a Tobin, but he got his daddy's last name. He from LA. Went to the pen. He's out the brims. He moved out there, but he's low key. They're finally from New Orleans and New Roads. Okay. Means you mix with something. You one of them Creoles. Whatever Lamert Park. Go to LA around the last 2-3 years. Like that. So, shit, they had a celebration last night. I got the keys to Lamert Park. Matter of fact, let me tell you something real quick. These right here are the keys to Lamert Park. These are the keys to the gate. These 3 keys to the gate, and that's the key to the bathroom. So, this young lady who worked with me, she couldn't close the park last night because we were supposed to close it at 7:30, but they had something going on. So, yep, this event's going on. Matter of fact, today is Sunday, so it's always events going on. There's an event going on right now. Yeah. You stay on 79th Ave. Skip you have Eastmont neighborhood, Deep East stories. Eastmont. Where's Eastmont? Help me with that. Yes. You said that's loose cannon body. Yeah. Yeah, fixtures. Yeah, they building apartment buildings over there now. Right, Shreveport. That's a big time connection with Los Angeles. Eric started getting into trouble and my auntie moved to the Thousand Oaks. Oh, okay. Yeah, Eric, man, let me tell you what we did to Eric Daddy Core. We was sneaking to the Century Drive-In, and one day we was all high as fuck. We was high and drunk, and we supposed to put the boards down so we could sneak in. Man, we got all 4 tires on flat at the Century Drive-In. Some of y'all don't even know what that is, but the Century Drive-In was right there where the bottoms are, the low bottoms, the cooler cools. Shit, what year was that? That got to be like 78, 79. And we tried to do everything. We was putting air in the tire. We was at a gas station on Crenshaw and Century. Kept putting air in the tire. We was so fucked up. We didn't know the air wasn't gonna stay in there, man. I had to stop hanging around Eric because Eric and his crew they would be high or drunk every day, and I ain't like that. I ain't want to be high and drunk because that'll make me a victim of something. That's when the Crips was really starting to expand, and they were coming to Inglewood with the bullshit. So yeah, and I'm walking. I don't have no car. And then that's the time when my mama moved into the 60s. So I'm leaving Inglewood every day, catching the bus late at night or whatever to get home. So yeah, I couldn't fuck with Eric no more. Focused. Is he doing good now? How's he doing? I don't know. But he had a fine sister too. What's the sister name? So I could look her up on Instagram. Devo Park, Bronx, New York. All right. Shout out to the Bronx. What's up, Mr. Townsend, sir? How you feeling, brother? I used to go to Taco Mail restaurant. Oh yeah, Taco Mel's there. You got them shrimp burritos. Make it however you want. Okay, yeah. I went to the mall a couple of times, but yeah, I ain't got no stories. I was just visiting Oakland. I ain't never stay out there. I was on the harbor side. So when I would be in Oakland, I was fucking with Chris Mills. I was fucking with Gary Payton and his cousins up in the, by Pierce College. So I was never like in the hood. I was messing with dude, and I think Gary Payton and one of his cousin's friend owned the car wash over there, like going towards the zoo. And me and him got into it once. We was about to get down, and uh, my daughter, young girl at the time, I don't know why I didn't put the brake on, but she got in the truck and put it in reverse. And just as we were about to fight, the truck started moving backwards. I had to run and the motherfucking park. And I was like, man, I don't know. We just didn't see eye to eye. I was at his car wash waiting to get the car, and he was talking shit to me. And I didn't feel like I should have shit talk to me with respect. What's up, Sunshine? Have you been to Shakey's Pizza? Of course. They still got one, and they used to have one in Inglewood on Arborvita, but they still got one in Culver City, Jefferson and Sepulveda. I was there probably about 2, 3 months ago. What's going on, KB, Javo? I'll be there in 3 weeks. I need those keys. No place like Lawrence Park, United States. Yeah, that's the last place for black people in LA that we got. So we don't have, like they got shit, Koreatown, they got Chinatown. So as a group of people renamed that area Africa Town. A lot of culture, black culture is right there. And when you see people with jackets on this color, shirts on this color, they work for Second Call. They work with me in this building I'm in now. So, I'm glad they gave us keys to the park. Glad they gave us a platform to stop the violence. Um, I got people. I got people from the Merck Park that work with me, but they won't stay out the place. Man, look at one of my ambassadors right there. Y'all recognize that face? I can't put it up too long. But yeah, I got him and his cousin Turtle. They was working, but they both went to jail, man. So yeah, I'm trying to keep the violence down, but I got to keep them out. Do I have experience at the Baldwin Hills Theater? Of course. I lived at 3903 South Sycamore, and the back of the theater is Sycamore. And the worst thing that happened at the Baldwin Hills Theater is my boy Papa, the Dirty Turk brother, got killed. And I took him to the Valley. I took him to the Valley, and he wanted to spend time with his mama. So he got kicked out of Dorsey, got kicked out of Inglewood. He was getting into it all the time. And his mama, may she rest in peace too, she asked me would I take him out to the homeboy, Danny Boy, Crazy Eyes from Blackstone. Would I take him out there with his sister? Because his sister was, she was paying her bills. She had life good. So took him out there, gave him a little money, whatever. And about 2 weeks later, he's like, man, it's Christmas time. I don't want to go back. And he went back, and his mama was going out that night. He walked. He was walking to the store. He wasn't even going to the theater. And little young cat seen him and said, man, don't come back this way. And because he had got into it with him at Dorsey. And everybody tell me wasn't no Crips at Dorsey. Well, shit, that was 1987, 88. So it was Crips there. That's when he got killed. So it was always Crips there. I mean, it ain't been since people was born in 94. Nah, ain't no Crips there. But yeah, I got a lot of experiences. That's where I saw Eddie Murphy when he had on that red suit. He was doing his stand up or whatever. I forgot what it was called. But yeah, I used to go there for all the movies. Um, yeah, that was a spot. But it was majority Blackstone. But yeah, the Crips would come every now and again. Wendy, yes, Wendy. That's Eric's sister, Wendy. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna look her up. I'm sure shit. If I'm 61, she got to be 62, 60, 61, somewhere in there. So, but she sure was pleasant to look at. back in 77, 78, 79. Oh, he's a grandpa. That's cool. Man, if you talk to him, tell him, man, say Skipp Townsend. Tell him Steve Townsend, little brother, said, hey, what's going on? Yeah, talk with respect. Thanks to Boo, probably still there across by that 7-Eleven. What's up, Keith? Have the 18th Street ever sat down with any gangs to talk peace? Yes, in this building right here, first time I ever sat down with the 18th Street. They came, sat down, and talked peace with the Inglewood families, the Crenshaw Mafias. Um, Inglewood family, Crenshaw Mafias, IVC sat here, Inglewood 13 sat here. And they was real cool with the Inglewood 13s, even though they don't see eye to eye. But, I got two of them that work for me, and I got another one that I'm looking to bring on. And when I bring him on, he has relationships with all the 18th Streets. So, yeah, we're going to talk about Blackstone, 20s, all that type stuff. Yep. Spody Face, good people. Got to stay out and work with you. Yeah, now when Spody Face get out, I don't think he's going back. He ain't going to do the back and forth. He just had to go back to Arizona. That's all. So we can stop gangbanging out like 10% black. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, we got to start building. How close were you to Brad and Ronnie? Oh, come on, man. I used to live across the street. Well, I didn't live. I had a spot across the street from them on Cloverdale. Them was my guys, Brad and Rondi. Yes, indeed. They was making money. Those were some of the guys that was telling the Mansfields, nah, hold on. Let Skipp be here because Skipp is bringing something to the hood. I wasn't coming shooting and writing on the walls and shit. They was at the time they was having 2-3 ounces, and I was bringing about 9 ounces over there. And then when I got a bird, they was having a half a bird, and shit, they had their own plug. And next thing I know, shit, they got 4, 5, 6 birds. They was doing it out of control. So I watched them come up. Yes, indeed. I didn't know that, focus. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate it. I remember when he got killed. Yes. Yeah. So it ain't really no membership. It ain't no. It ain't no. What do you call that? It's not no. Ain't no membership because ain't no leader, man. Ain't nobody to look up to. Ain't nobody telling you what to do. In my days, it was not leaders, but it was people who would kind of be a guide, be a director, sort of. Bobby. I got to go back and look and see what was the last conversation, so where did Bobby come from. The last thing I got was the Mert Park must be beautiful. And then you put Bobby. I don't know what that means. Just watch your Vlad interview. Love hearing you speak, brother. Always positive. Love from Memphis. I appreciate it. I used to go to Memphis too. When I was doing bad things, I would go to Memphis and get something out here for about 15,000, take it to Memphis and let it go for 20. And the dude I would sell it to would sell it for about 22. Yeah. 62. Yeah, I'll be 62 in November. Yep. Newberry and Boys Market, Fedco. Yep. I remember all them. I can tell you the Boys Market that was on Crenshaw and Century. The Boys Market that was on before it was Ralph's. I think it was Crenshaw and Slauson. I don't know if it was Boys or if that was always Ralph's. But yeah. Used to shop at Boys Market. Newberry's too. Newberry's is definitely on King Crenshaw. Fedco, that's now Target. La Cienega. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know Porky from I-13. I had to get to know him. I had to get to know all the I-13s in 2019. I don't know if y'all know, but when that peace agreement came with the East Coast and the Florencias, everybody started calling. So the I-13s and the Queen Streets NHPs had like a cool 2.5 to 3 years worth of sit downs, and no shit. Oh, come on. Chrissy and Crystal. Man, let me tell you, man, I know both of them, man. We had them one day. Me and the homie Big Monster and somebody else, we had them riding with us, and they wanted to drink and smoke weed. We took them to Second Ave Park, and yeah, they wasn't they wasn't they wasn't welcome there. And the biddies and twenties together, but a couple dudes from biddies was trying to go off on them. We wouldn't let them fight them. We was trying to, me and my homeboy was trying to sexually relate with them, and yeah, it didn't work out, so we had to get them up out of there. But Chrissy and Crystal, I don't know if you know them, then my family, my cousins, blood cousins, is Leanne, Carrie, and Sully. So Sully was with them. Sully went to Ventura and all that. I don't know if Carrie did. I know Carrie went to Ventura too. She was in and out the halls. But Chrissy and Crystal, and yeah, Chrissy is Sea Girl, I think it is. But yeah, that was my family. They lived on 37 Drive. So I would go over there. When I got out in '88, I went over there and I started meeting Chrissy, Crystal, and all them. Yeah. Yeah, they was the original set it off. And don't forget Sully. Sully is I think she's Snoopy from 30s. And Carrie is I don't know. I don't know what they call Carrie. But Carrie's the craziest, I can tell you that. Carrie is the craziest. She always calling me. Talking about you gonna be getting a phone call, cousin. I'm like, what they gonna call me for? Because she done did something to somebody. And it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened none of 2025. I think I stopped getting phone calls like the beginning of 2024. So she must be doing all right. Do you know somebody from City Stone named Youngster? Nope. Oh, Bobby, Lil Hawk, yes. Okay, now I see what you're saying. You said Bobby and I wasn't registering, but now you say Lil Hawk. Yeah, that's my guy. Yes, indeed. You must know exactly who I am, unfuckwittable lavish. Because that is my line. I'm about to go check and see if the oil is leaking out my tire. That's before I ever get into it. You'll never see me getting arrested for nothing domestic. Is Rock from 20 still around? Rock is around. I don't know where. He got out probably about 5, 6 years ago. But I don't be around like that. So I'm not on Adams and Normandy like that. So that would be the area. He was off Kenwood. He'd always be on Kenwood or Raymond or in that area. And I'm just not around there like that. Oh yeah, boys on Jefferson and Western. That's cool. You got Skipp winning it all for NBA chip. I say Knicks. I don't know, man. I don't get the chance. King saying I don't get the chance, man. I just seen what they did to that boy. The New York Knicks fans, they surrounded somebody I've seen on Instagram. Yeah. Crenshaw and Rodeo, I know exactly. Yeah. I don't know Porky's history. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, 43rd and Norton. Come on, man. Them is $1 million homes now. Them $180,000 homes have gone up to $1 million. Yep. 25 single scoop ice cream. Yep. Of course. Yep. 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 You was 5 when you shopped here. If I had to pick 2 LA gangs to make peace today and never look back, who would it be and why? Damn, that's a good question. Stand on it. Um, I want to say, being selfish, I want to say the 20s and 30s because, like I just said, I was on 37 Drive and started meeting all them dudes. And then when I started towing, Trey had me on Middleton. I was with Rick Rock, Gerald, all that. We started, what's his name? SA. We started going out of town together making money. So I felt like I was family, even though these supposed to be my enemies. But then when I went and did that violation in 2004, um, people was telling me that this dude was coming by shooting at him. And he was a dude that kept me on the phone. I said, man, y'all related. So if I had to pick 2 gangs to make peace, the youngsters still keep it going with the 20s and 30s. And I think it's just stupid to me because we all family, really family. I mean, like same grandmama and shit. And then I got I got a youngster back in the days, like 2006 or 7. His 30s would call me and say, man, this dude is disrespectful. He got his thumb down tattooed on his face, and he'd go past us and slow down, make sure we could see the thumb. And but his grandmama lived around the corner. So I'm like, man, we just really have no reason. So, the 20s and schoolyards kind of settled things, but I mean, the youngsters still ain't abiding by it. And really, it's the bitty stones in the schoolyards. But I think I would pick the 20s and 30s. Like, man, if we could squash that and move on, it might be an influence to the fruit towns. It might be an influence to the Blackstones. Yep. Thrifties on Slauson. Yeah, everything was happening on Slauson. Slauson in Vermont had everything, in case y'all didn't know. Everything was there. Sears, everything was at that corner. Y'all was back and forth to Memphis, huh? I thought we got Chris Blood down here. I mean, making sense. You know what, Philip? I wasn't doing that. I was quiet. I wasn't acting like I was a blood or nothing. I mean, I had on a troop jacket. I would wear burgundy red or whatever, but not gang bang like that because I was moving about 2, 3, 4 of them chickens, and I didn't want to get caught up. And every time I go to the airport, there was this short black dude who would be on me. I had to come up with all kind of tricks, and finally he never caught me with nothing, but he caught me with the money and took my money one time. His bloodhound still in Sweden? I guess so. I don't know. I was just talking about him about an hour ago. One of the makers, one of the producers of Snowfall. If y'all ever watch Snowfall, they're about to do a pilot, a spinoff, and dude looked just like Bloodhound. And he was telling me how in the '90s somebody jumped out on him and about to pull on him, and they said, "Oh, that ain't him." So I showed him a picture. I said, "Man, I know who they're looking for," and he looked just like Bloodhound. But I ain't talked to Bloodhound since before COVID. I can't remember when. You think Big E will be able to represent himself for defense? Hell no. Big U got a lot of issues going right now, and I would hope that he don't represent himself. The feds is a total matter of fact. Let me tell you, it's a different language. Going into court is a different language than talking on the streets. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Therefore, we're not even speaking the same language. That means I can't tell you the truth about something. Let's just say I go outside and I got a gun, the gun fall, pow, and it go off and it shoot somebody. I can't tell you that because you're going to say that, I did it on purpose and then he ran and fell, so you can't even tell the truth. You can't say, hey, my bad, my mistake. You can't do that. You could say, oh, I was there, but I didn't hit him in the head. The homies hit him in the head. Okay, well, I was there with the homies. Now I'm a snitch. Now I can't. When I go to the pen, the homie's gonna be like, "Man, you made a statement." The best thing to do ever, when in court or when in a relationship, don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing, because it's the same thing. Anything you say in a relationship can be used against you. Anything you say in court can be used against you. So I don't want to talk to nobody. What's going on? MC Recovery and Relapse. I went to Angeles Mesa, St. John's, and St. Mary's. All right, I could base it. Wait, which St. John's? 60th of Crenshaw or St. John's next to St. Mary's? I think one's a John the Baptist, one's a John Corinthesons or whatever. I don't know. Angeles Mesa, that means you was somewhere on 54 if you was over there in a decent area. You grew up in a nice area over there in the Overhills or View Park. Yeah, mob and looters, that beef is ridiculous. It still is to this day. I love the looters, I love the mob, but there was some dudes from mob told me, stay out their business. Yep, I was in Tacoma, Washington a lot, 56th Street, Shallow Shands. I fucked with a couple people on the hilltop. But yeah, I was in Tacoma. Transfiguration is my church. So that means Carrie Carter, who is now Carrie Valentine. She went to Transfiguration. That was her church. But she went to St. Michael's. Well, I got kids by her daughter. And when I met her daughter, I lied to her immediately. I knew I was about 17, 18 years older than her. So I lied about my age, made myself about 8, 9 years older than her. And then I'm sitting in front of the house one day, and she said, yeah, my mother grew up around here, went to Catholic school. I said, I got to know your mama. And she told me. And I said, oh, shit, we ain't going to be able to keep this relationship Because all the lies I done told your mama gonna know the truth. I'll keep the emails going. Got the Boys and Men conference coming. 120 women in July. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. July 19th. Okay. Did you ever cross paths with Kiki Loco back in the 80s and 90s? Nope, I did not. I crossed paths with Kiki Loco when Nipsey got killed. But it was just automatic respect. When he seen me and I seen him, we just shook hands and hugged like we've been knowing each other forever. But it's based on who he is, based on who I am. We had to do that. Yep, yep, yep. I remember when you and Big Rick hit the hilltop on 91. Yeah, that's about the time. Yep, 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 yep. And I told him I couldn't go. And Rick and Floyd, Lil Gerald was like, Lil Floyd Gerald was Lil Floyd. He was like, man, they said, you with us, you can go anywhere. So we pull up, and a dude who I've been going back and forth with, um, he was up there. He from LA, from Mansfield. And he said, where y'all from? And they said, we from LA. He said, okay, where? And they said, from Harlem Crip, 30s. And I said, yeah, I'm Rick Rock, I'm Floyd, and that's Skipp. And he looked, he said, Skipp. I'm looking him in his eyes. I'm trying not to laugh because he know me. He know where I was from. And then Rick said, yeah. I said, Skipp, we all homies. What's happening? And he just backed up a little bit and started thinking like, maybe that ain't him. I was doing my best to hold my laugh in. I wanted to say, motherfucker, you know who I am. But I talked to him at Monster Cody's funeral, and his big homie put me on the phone with him. And I said, man, I just want to apologize for the shit that we went through. He said, man, you better shoot at me when you see me, man, or when you seeing me. He said, because I was going to shoot at you. He said, man, we did what we were supposed to do. He said, there ain't nothing to it, man. He said, we can go sit down and eat now. So it's a good thing. Yep, the spinoff is coming, man. Spinoff is coming. Is that Godfather thing still together? Gears, Marvin, Harlem's. I don't even know. I know the Gears, Marvin, Harlem's probably so. Every year, this guy Ira has a thing he does on Apple. On Apple, he does. Sort of like it's for people's birthday. That's in February, but people look at it as hood days. And I've gone a couple times, and I see the Gears, Marvins, and Harlem's there. So probably so. Great work. What can the city of Los Angeles do today to extremely help with the peace movement? I think what the city can do to help with the peace movement is fund it. So they're doing a lot of funding right now, but the politics involved is you got to have so many clients, you got to do follow-ups with them. So you got dudes who are really just doing the paperwork to get the check. They chasing these kids at school, going to talk to their parents, getting signatures, getting them a bus pass, all that. But what I like to do is take a little homie to lunch. I get 2 or 3 20s, 2 or 3 30s, get a couple 40s, a couple Blackstones. Let's sit at the table and eat. That's the real work when we get them to sit at the table and talk. But just getting them bus passes, making sure they stay in school. I mean, I guess that's right too, trying to get them not to be in jail. And if they're in school, then they can't be dead if they're in school. So I would just change it up. I think that the city of LA has been extremely supportive, but I would change up some of it to make it straight gangbang. And then it's only from 14 to 25-year-olds. A lot of these dudes who are 32, 38, 40, they need to come sit at the table. And I think that that's what should be funded. And that part isn't funded. It's like they too old. Yeah. Target bought all of them. Oh, okay. The one on six. I used to live down the street from you then. When you was down there. So you were there with the what's the family that lived down the street? They lived on 60th Street. That went there. Not the Lasanes. Lasanes went to St. Anselm's with me, but there's a family of sisters, a bunch of girls that lived on 60th Street, close to West Boulevard. So I used to be with David Spence, and me and David Spence would take me all through there, chasing girls. That's all we did at Sarah, man, was go to St. Mary, St. Michael's, Bishop Connolly. Not too often that we go down there. We call them Pico pickups, but we was always at St. Mary's. Finished my last semester at St. Bernadette. Oh, okay. All right. You needed that co-ed. Mom's went to Bishop Connolly and West Africa. Deep. Oh yeah. My homegirl Bubbles went to Bishop Connolly. Yes, indeed. All right, Thomas. Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. You can't say a name. We could find each other. This woman day ceasefire. Yeah, I did. Just got back in town. My plane landed about 1 o'clock, and Taco took me to get my car, and I told him I was coming too, but I got tied up. Oh yeah, Daniel Murphy. Loyola too went to Sarah. Who's the other one went to Sarah besides Eric Dupont? Who else went to Sarah Focus? Oh, okay. Biology. So you really was paying attention when they was cutting frogs and shit, cutting the frogs open and all that. You paid attention to that. Yeah. Immaculate Heart. I remember that. That's right there too. Immaculate Heart's right there on Venice, across the street from the cemetery. Fairco did have it all. No, but I'm gonna tell you, King saying I'm saying no to you, but I'm gonna tell you what what's her name did. The lady that I didn't like, she was vice president. Can't remember her name, but Harris, Kamala Harris. She, and I say I don't like her because what she did when she was in California as a prosecutor, a DA, but when she became vice president, she put Gregory Jackson, put him in place on gun violence, um, and he did that. He would sit down with different neighborhoods, and shout out to Greg. He worked for the dude from the Migos now, who has his own nonprofit. Y'all look up Gregory Jackson, man. He a good dude, and he's boots on the ground. So he could be a director, executive director. He had access to the White House, all that. He would invite us in there. Matter of fact, I went to the White House one day, and I'm not knowing that he did this. I'm with a team of people. It's about 30 of us, and a lady was saying, "Townsend, I'm looking for Townsend." I said, "I'm Townsend," and she said, "I need you to come on. Hurry up, let's go." So I told my team, "Come on, let's go." She said, "No, no, just you." So I'm like, "Damn." So we go upstairs or whatever, and I see this other girl I know, and I say, "Hey," give her a hug, and I tell her, "This is my little sister. She gonna come sit with me because I'm thinking I got a better seat than everybody else." And she said, "No, Mr. Townsend, she can't go either." I'm like, "Damn." So I go inside, and what Greg had did is he had put me on the list to go in and meet the president and take a picture with him. So Greg is a good dude. Shout out to Greg. Good night, Compton girl. Yeah, I'm seeing now. I've been on here an hour and 30. I'm gonna have to good night myself, y'all. Um, do you think you can get the 89s and bops to sit down? They already working on that. The 89 swans and the bops, they working together and they working on that. Yeah, Fatco's on point. Back in the heart was in Hollywood. Okay. Well, what school was that across the street from the what school is across the street? Like at Normandy and Venice. That's a Catholic school, but I don't know what it is. Open youth centers on every corner of South Central, pool tables, video games, children, something to do. I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here, man. Shit, I didn't even know that was an hour and 30 minutes, man. All right, y'all, hit the like button. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe. Focus, keep in touch with me. Go on Instagram and find me. Second Call South LA. Second Call is the number 2NDCALL underscore South LA. All right, here, I'm gonna put this on here real quick. Put that on there. Want all y'all to follow me. Matter of fact, you have my total respect. Coming home to visit next month. Oh yeah. All right, hit me in. I'm gonna give you the address. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna be able to miss the office right here on La Brea and Obama. Used to be Rodeo when you was out here, Rodeo Road, like you just said, where the boys was. I ain't at Crenshaw, but I'm at Obama. You'll see it. Yeah. Oh, eight trays and 60s, they together all the time. They always, well, I can't say all of them, but, I know Tiny Menace, Lil AD. Matter of fact, Tiny Menace was introducing me to Mingo from Bounty Hunters. Man, so the eight trays is, man, if you cool with them, they cool with you. If you tripping on them, here they come. They tripping too. You know what I mean? So that's how it should be. Let's get along. Yep, yep, yep. Appreciate that, MC. Yep. All right, y'all. So love, peace, and chicken grease, man. I appreciate all of y'all on here. Appreciate it. I got 7-6 people that acknowledge. So I'm gonna end this. Yeah. Peace and blessings to everybody.